Logged into your Nearpod account, let's go to create lesson. Here we have our blank canvas. So my lesson is going to be over long division. So I will just type in long division lesson. And my lesson is just going to be a simple lesson to introduce the students to the concept of long division. I've used this lesson to teach whole group, but I usually use this lesson to lead a small group of students while my other students participate in stations. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a division PowerPoint that I like to use, so I'm just going to drag and drop it right on over. Okay. It's saved on my desktop, so anything you save on your desktop, you can just drag and drop over into Nearpod. Now, remembering our outline, introduction or a hook, guided practice, independent practice, application or review or check for understanding, my class always starts with a do now or warm up. So instead of having a slide or post about what the do now will be and they write it in their notebook, I'm just going to go ahead and delete this slide. Yes. And instead, I'm going to add a quiz. Just going to go to add activity, add a quiz, and then input the question. So I'm only going to probably do maybe one or two questions, maybe three, nothing too strenuous. Now that my quiz is added, I also added in a poll just as a hook. Does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers? And this will directly connect to how we will be uh, dividing and the acronym that we'll use to remember the steps of long division. Now I'm actually going to leave these slides here. I'm not going to delete them because what I want the kids to do is write notes, and that is part of my guided practice. So they'll start off with writing one division problem, and then I'm going to walk them through the steps of how to solve a division problem using long division method. Now for my independent practice, I'm going to use a Draw It application. And this is simply where I implemented a picture. You can add a question in here. Was it 76 divided by 3? Oh, 3. And I took a picture or I did a screenshot of the actual question because as you can see, there isn't really a division symbol. There isn't really a division symbol available. So instead of um, hassling with that, I just took a picture of it. I also wanted to point out that you do have other options of implementing or uploading other things from your file, your Dropbox, or from a box. Now, what you may have noticed is that I didn't add a slide that actually shows the students the answer after they've tried the question by themselves. And that is because during a live lesson, the teacher has the option of sharing the student work. For example, here we have, the question is illustrate your new elephant fact, and the students drew the elephant. The teacher can simply click on whichever student did the most, or if it's an example of a good answering it correctly, or an example of what not to do, the teacher can still just click on that student's work and share it with the whole class as an example. And usually that is what I do. I just share the student's work who got the question correct as an example, and I may even show one of what not to do and where they messed up. Now, at this particular stage, they're not really at the application phase where I can just make the lesson applicable. So we're going to review, and I actually don't like this review slide as pertaining to my interactive lesson, so I'm going to delete it. And then I'm going to add a review sort of question. So I'm actually going to add, like I said, a writing activity, open-ended question. And my question is going to be, because like I said, this is a very basic, and I usually use this with my small group. I'm just going to ask them what are, not really what, but write the 5 steps of long division. Now that that's saved, I can move it over where I want it. So I have my review step, and then for my check for understanding is just another quick quiz, but it'll be my exit ticket just to see if they understood the lesson and if it's working.